YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another 2 cents video. Y'all know I like to give my 2 cents, but I wanted to discuss this and put it out here just to kind of give a little bit of clarity to why a lot of women, once again, this is not all women, but why some women are out here requesting all of these unrealistic standards from men. And I think part of the conclusion that I have come to is the fact that a lot of these women have gotten used to trick behavior. Now, let me explain. So when I talk about trick behavior, they have been accustomed to men tricking, men who are paying for things for them, giving them money for a possible bill or something that they, whatever it is that they ask for in return for their bodies. So we already know that in 2025, it's not a lot of real stable relationships and connections out here. A lot of these women are in transactional relationships where these relationships are based on, hey, you give me some money and I'll give you what you want. And so although these women don't want to call it what it really is, but that is actually what it is for a lot of these women. So I think a lot of these women, specifically the women who are asking for money upon dating them, asking for money just to have a conversation with them, DMing them, asking men to DM them money just to have a conversation, just to talk to them, claiming that their time is worth something. That is nothing more than a transactional situationship. That is not something that's going to lead to a serious, connection or a serious relationship, let alone marriage or a man taking you seriously. And I think because we're in a society where women think that being, outside and being able to choose who you want to be with sexually or intimately, they look at that as empowerment because it's made to be an empowerment thing and they don't see anything wrong with it. So now when they come across men who understand the game, men who are willing to play the game, men who are not looking for serious committed relationships with these women, then these particular men would be willing to pay for the dates, pay for your time. They will be willing to give you money or be willing to pay a bill or will be willing to do these things for you because they know what they want and it's clear. And so I think these types of women have gotten it misconstrued. They think now that every man is supposed to come out of their pocket off rip and just pay for you like the trick would do. Not understanding that every man is not trying to trick on you. Every man is not a trick. There are actually men out here who are looking for stable, solid relationships, men who are trying to build a family, trying to get married, trying to have a woman, trying to have a family. These particular men are not the type of men that a lot of these women have become accustomed to. So when you see a bunch of women on social media talking about, oh, I need you to pay, I need you to spend money on me, I need you to spend money on me. The reason they're saying that is because they have been accustomed to a trick. A man who's willing to pay money because he knows at the end of the night, he gonna clap some cheeks. He gonna get what he wants. So now in most of these women's minds, they're thinking, hey, if that's what you want from me, they've reduced themselves to just a transactional situation. So now they're used to that type of man and that type of situation. So now they just treat all men this way. They've made it up in their minds that, oh, you want sex from me. This is what you want from me. So it's going to cost you. So you got to do X, Y, Z if you want my time, if you want to talk to me, whatever it is you want to do with me, you're going to have to pay. But when it comes to men who are not looking to be your trick, men who are not looking to just sleep with you, men who actually might be interested in you for something more serious, these women have become conditioned to believe that that is what all men want, and that's why men are talking to them. So if that's what you want, you're going to have to pay. It makes sense. So I think, we're in a time that's very dangerous and very just out of order, in my opinion. And I think a lot of women have really reduced themselves to their bodies, something that they used to complain about, men objectifying them, men just only looking at them and their bodies. But now I think women have given into that narrative. They have given into the idea that men want them. They look good, so pay me. They've turned it into a transactional situation. But I just think that women got to understand that this is not the plight of every man that you run into. Every man is just not out here trying to sleep with you. Every man is not out here just trying to be a trick to women. Every man is not out here trying to spend their hard-earned money on a woman, just because. You got to understand that there are men who actually want solid, stable relationships, but a lot of women are reducing all men to this trick status. That this is what y'all want, so pay me. My time is valuable. What they're essentially saying is, you want to screw me, then you're going to have to pay for it. If you're trying to talk to me because you are used to men coming at you for that in that way, now it's on autopilot. You just believe that this is what they expect of you. So why not get paid for it? When I think that is such a low place to place yourself. Instead of having standards and morals for yourself and respecting yourself enough to where you don't reduce yourself to just somebody's transactional situation, where men are just only looking at you for your body, how they want to run through you, and that's it. So I think that is definitely part of the reason why so many women are requesting these things, because they have in their mind reduced themselves to a transactional situationship. They don't believe that they're worth more than that. Because if you believe that you're worth more than that, you would not subject yourself to this type of man or this type of behavior. Once again, I say this, women have the power, but they're not using it correctly. And I don't think that they really realize the power that they do have. The power that they think they have is what's putting them in these transactional situationships that's going to leave them by themselves, confused, and wondering why no man wants to take them seriously when they're ready to take one seriously. So I think a lot of women are putting themselves in these positions and they're not realizing, and they're constantly blaming men on these situations, but you can't blame men on something that you control. You control access to your body. You control how you use it. You control the decisions that you make. That is not up on men. That's on you. And if you don't control the very thing that you have the power over, you can't blame men for your outcomes. You can't solely blame men for the outcomes. If you're putting yourself in a position to be what these men want you to be, you can't blame them. You have to take some accountability for the position that you put yourself in. And I think a lot of women do this, but they don't look at it in that way. And they look at it as empowerment. And then when, you're treated as such, now you got a problem with it. You realize at the end of the day, when you're tired of that type of transaction and now you want something more solid, something more serious, you want a man of your own to treat you with respect and love. And when you can't find it, now all men ain't shit. All men are the problem. When all men are not the problem, you are part of the problem as well, because you, once again, are in control of your choices. You're in control of your body and what you do with it. And nobody can take that away from you. And if they did try to take it away from you, that is against the law. They could be held accountable for that. But as long as you are giving yourself willingly to a person in that manner, you can't blame anybody but yourself. So once again, I think women got to understand that every man is not out here trying to trick on you. Every man is not looking at you as a transaction. Some men really want solid, stable relationships with women. But if you have put yourself out here in this transactional situation type deal, then that is how men are going to look at you. And that's not their fault. That's your fault, because you adhere to it. You answer to it. You prescribe it to it. And you accept it. So if you don't want that type of treatment, if you want men to take you seriously, you got to take yourself seriously. And stop thinking that all men are supposed to treat you like a trick. That's just my thought for the day. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.